Hello, and today we'll continue with Kingsguard. This is Ramos' route. You drowsily awoke to soft light filtering into another strange room. The bed you rested in was rather comfortable, but you still felt weary waking up in yet another unknown location. As you pulled aside the seats, you noticed that you were stripped down to your underwear. In the corner of the room, you spotted a chest with your sword leaning against it. Likely your clothes were inside. As you tried to get up, you quickly gripped your stomach, which ached and pained. Yeah, it was tender, sore, and just slightly bruised, and you quickly recalled why. Ramos. Damn, I don't think he held back on me either. Probably knocked me out for a couple of days. Your voice was rough and your throat dry. You hadn't felt pain racking your entire body this badly since when Leandros decided to fight you seriously during training. You rubbed your eyes and head as you looked around the room. It was barely furnished. Other than the chest, there were two beds, a small table with a pair of chairs, and a nightstand to your side with a few well-burned candles. You gritted your teeth and tried to stand. A sudden feeling of vertigo nearly sent you sprawling onto the floor if you hadn't been so quick to lean on the nightstand to steady yourself. Everything felt all wrong. Your back was burning as though it had been split open again, and you were breaking out into a cold sweat. On the nightstand was a cup of water that you struggled to lift with one hand and mentally chugged down quickly, spilling most of the contents down on your bare body. When you were done, it slipped out of your hand and rolled on the floor under the bed. The window was right beside your face, so you squinted through the light and took a look outside. The streets below were crowded with people pushing their way past one another. Vendors on the side of the street shouted jovially to attract customers, and in the distance a bell echoed, ringing in a new hour. Is this line? But that was supposed to be 2 days away. You certainly weren't in Whitebridge anymore. For one, there was a hearty number of beastmen lingering among the humans. Was it really out for that long? Did he carry me all that way? He may have been strong, but it couldn't have been easy to haul you from one town to another. The last sight you caught before pulling your head back through the window was a little child snatching something out from the purse of a rich-looking man. As you moved away from the window, you took a glance at the other bed. There was a noticeable depression in the bed of a large male, likely where Ramos had slept. Where he was now was a mystery. Your eyes met the door. You weren't quite certain you could even make it to the door, but your stubbornness too took hold. The second your hands left the nightstand, you gracefully crumpled onto the floor. You weren't too sore and tired to even make much of a sound as you just hissed in pain. Ugh, thought I had smacked that stubbornness out of you. You managed to crane your head up towards Ramos standing in the doorway. He just shook his head and took a step over you like you were some puddle of muddy water he wanted to avoid. After he placed down a parcel he was carrying on his bed, he returned to your side to quickly help you back up to your bed. Might want to take it easy for a bit, kid. I think that affection of yours has started to flare up again. How are you feeling? Not too well. I'm sore all over in mine. He grabbed your abdomen once more. Not too well. I'm sore all over and my stomach hurts. Oh, right. Sorry about that. Couldn't think of a way to settle you down. Do you really have to punch me now? I'm already sick enough as it is. Well, at least I held back. Didn't appear to have any broken bones. Look, kid, I'll make it up to you. Probably pretty hungry right about now. Ramos reached behind towards him. Ramos reached behind him towards the bed and withdrew something from the bag. I got you an apple. He held out a red fruit so sunny you could almost see your reflection in it, as if that was supposed to make everything suddenly better. I don't want an apple. Your stomach rumbled me. Your stomach rumbled heavily. Really now? Well, suit yourself. What? He reached out for the fruit, but it was already too late. Ramos chuckled it. Ramos chucked it in the air, caught it, then took a large bite. The juices ran down his chin as he chewed aloud. Never mind. You put down your arm at your feet and your stomach rumbled even louder. Relax, kid, I got more. He grabbed out another apple and gingerly took it while muttering at things. It was crisp, juicy, sweet, and so full of flavor. Man, Line really does have the best tasting apples. He stopped mid-bite. Why did you stop me? We still had time to go back to her to save her. You still on that? Look, kid, my promise to Leo was to get you to your aunt and uncle's house alive. Hate me all you want, but if there are some casualties along the way, so be it. How could you say that? After all that she did for us, she did nothing wrong to help us. And then we ran away. Now she's gone. I told you already, she ain't dead. But she screamed. I heard her. Yeah, because they torched her home. That place was probably like a child to her. So many memories gone up in her ass. Husband passed, kids are gone. That was probably all she had left. You trust me, that she is just fine. That woman's as tough as nails. You'll get to see her again soon as this whole war thing blows over. Though that self, I'll be making sure he pays for it. Ramos cracked his knuckles and gritted his teeth. Last night you thought he was some heartless monster running away to save his own hide, but it seemed that he really did care for her. Still, you wish you could confirm she was alright with her. She was alright with your own eyes. Anyway, soon as you're done eating, we'll be heading out to see a doctor I found in town. Was closed when I stopped on by last night, but hopefully she'll be open now. Think it'll be good to walk. You may not weigh much, but I'm still a bit sore from having to carry you all last night. Not so sure I could do that again. Did you really carry me all the way here? How else did you think you got here? But that was supposed to be a 2 days trip on foot. You impressed? I've outran horses before, you know. Carrying you all the way here was nothing, though I might have pushed myself a little hard. You're a monster, you know that? I'll take that as a compliment. Before you left, Ramos fitted you in some new clothes, ones that would help you blend in a bit better than your old ones. You tore up your old ones before your eyes closed. You tore up your old ones before your eyes and tossed them away. It was a shame to see such wonderful garments be turned to rags. With Ramos's help, you managed to leave the inn and head out into the city streets. The innkeeper warned you on the way out there that there was a festival going on and to look out for pickpockets within the busy streets. Lucky for you that you didn't have a coin on you, though you made sure to tighten the sword to your side a bit more. Hundreds of people pushed and shoved each other to make their way through, and you moved about an inch a minute. You couldn't even see ahead of you, and the noise of all the people shouting and the music playing began to give you a headache. Hey kid, stay close so you don't get pulled away. Alright. He gripped onto Ramos's arm like a child as he made his way through the crowds. You couldn't see very far ahead. It became more congested the further you traveled. Even through small gaps of space between the crowd, all you could see was more people. Where crowded it was, it seemed like no one could get to where they were going. You were already feeling sore from all the people bumping shoulders and elbows with you. It was a madhouse. Many shouted, screamed, and pushed themselves in anger by the inconvenience of it all. Hey, watch where you're going. Sorry. The young man, falling flat on his bottom, squealed at the sight of Ramos. He only took a second to gather his bearings before he vanished into the crowd in the sweat, leaving behind quite a few of his belongings. Good tourists. Can't they see I'm walking here? You stifled a chuckle and continued following after Ramos, who began to part the crowd around him. It seemed like his outburst might have just helped, as he were no longer shoulder to shoulder. Almost there, I think it was somewhere near here. He tried to take a peek over the heads of some people and saw a colorful tent in the distance. Even more music filled the air and people began to whisper. It seemed like the traveling circus had come into town. Before long, you were swept into the wave of people scurrying along to join in the festivities. God, someone bumped into you, causing you to lose your balance. You were grabbed by the arm just before you hit the ground and helped back up. Thanks, wow. You stared into the eyes of a man with a mask that looked oddly like a wolf. His cold orange eyes pierced at you from beneath the skies, and you nearly felt your heart drop. Whoever this was, he clearly wasn't Ramos. He was draped in dark clothes that fit tightly to his body, accentuating his muscular physique. You couldn't quite put a finger on it, but it seemed all too familiar, like he had known this person from somewhere. He had sharp nails, but were careful not to hurt you, and you noticed his arms were covered in fur. Sorry, I thought you were someone else. Can I help you? That face and hair, and those striking eyes, my memory cannot be mistaken. You are the king, are you not? Aye. Your heart skipped a beat, and your eyes went wide. What? I'm not the king, Are you able to stand? You hadn't realized that you were being held up by the hand of the stranger. Caden, where the hell are you? The voice of the wanderer came from just a few feet away. You could see him and his horn from above the crowd, but before you were able to call back, the masked beastman put a finger up to his lips and quickly lifted you back to your feet. This way. You were pulled through the crowd and away from Ramos's voice without any say. Even if you wanted to, you couldn't pull away, and before long the wolf-masked stranger had weaved his way through the maze and brought you to an empty alleyway. Only then did he let you go. You moved away from him until your back was pressed against the wall. Your hand brushed against the hilt of your blade, but the stranger made no sudden advances. Who are you, and why did you bring me here? Speak now. Speak, and I may not just kill you right here. That's away. Your lips and legs were quivering, and there was no one around to save you. You wish you had called for Ramos when you had a chance. You need not worry. I am not here to harm you, Caden. Your blade was now halfway out of his holster. How do you know my name? The beastman out there called for you. You turned in his direction. But that is not the only reason. I am of an ancient clan of protectors sworn to oath to watch over your family, the royal line of Yasin for generations. You may know us as the Amakomi clan. Amakomi? Now don't think I have. You are the king and you have not heard of us. Always with that guising, to think he failed to mention us. I think he's talking about Kishiro. Because Amakomi, that's kind of like similar to Kishiro. I mean, it could be that this clan is where Kishiro was originally from. The wolf looked to the ground, his eyes fierce as though he were irritated by something. Though perhaps it should not be a surprise that you do not know us. The reports that The reports tell that you have been sheltered like a bird in a cage from age 5 with limited knowledge beyond the city walls. It seemed beyond strange that this beastman not only knew who you were, but even things that most people wouldn't have. It was true. All that you have heard in your years growing up in the castle was how to be a ruler. When it came to learning of the outside world, you had to use books and newspaper to learn anything. Even then, you still felt inadequately prepared to know of the going-ons in the world. Father made sure of that. If you're not here to harm me, then what do you want with me? I am here to take you to a safer place. You expect me to just believe that? The elder has been worried ever since we received word of your sick wreck, and we have been looking everywhere in hopes of finding you. Shipwreck, how could you possibly? We are well informed of your life, Caden. As protectors of the royal line, it is our duty to protect you, and that requires knowledge of every place you go, of every meal you eat, sometimes of each time you leave to use the rest. That's enough of that. So basically, your stalkers is what I'm discovering, if that is how you wish to interpret it. Either way, I'm nowhere near the ocean or the wreckage, where you have been searching the beach for me. Yet you find me miles away in a crowded city. Believe me when I say that our meeting was a complete accident. While my clan has been tasked with locating you, I was given another mission, one pertaining to the gathering of information of our enemy's movements. It was only by a miracle that I found you here. Sure, found me in a crowd. Didn't know it was so easy to find a needle in a haystack. What kind of protectors would we be if we didn't know who you are or what you look like? What do you mean by that? Your kingdom's guards aren't the only ones protecting you. You may not have heard of me, seen me, ever even known of my existence. But as I said, we know everything there is to know about you. Being part of the scout team to find your enemies, it was crucial that I know of you from a glance so I ever run into you. I was made to study your visits by heart, even going so far to memorize your scent. I know about it. First off, you take me away from Ramos and into a dark alley, and you don't even take off your mask to speak to me properly. This mask says we all wear masks to conceal our identities. Just as you tried to tell me that you weren't the king, I have good reason to keep my face hidden as well. But as for that beastman, he is far too dangerous for you to be traveling with, let alone untrust your life too. It is best that you forget him from now on. Southern Lord's weird past. You aim for the wolf. He only had a second of dodge before it collided into the wall and shattered into 1,000 pieces. Thus filled the alleyway, and someone large bounded forth. Ramos! Caden, get behind me. I'm about to smear his face over this wall, and I don't think you want to get any blood on your new clothes. The wolf took a dive for the floor. It was now a safe distance away from you. He quickly picked himself up and corrected his mask that was slightly knocked off. His eyes were now filled with fury towards Ramos, and he looked ready to strike with his claws at any minute. So you are the one taking the king hostage for ransom. You got a lot of nerve saying that. This kid was trusted to me to watch over, and no skinny masked wearing freak is gonna take him from me. I do not recall ever hearing of you being employed to guard the king. However, I'll have you know that should you get in the way of my mission, I will not hesitate to end your life. A puny runt like you, huh? I know all about the way that you fight Ramos, butcher of the Colosseum. Yeah, so it seems you know me too. Yes, and I know just what kind of beastman you are. Certainly not someone who the king needs to be related to. Now that we have confirmed that the king is alive, there is no need for you. Leaving that just might spare your life. Sorry, but no can do. I promised your friend that I'd see the kid to his aunt and uncle down in Valdenforth, and I don't plan to let a job that pays this well get away. Valenforth, foolish and ignorant, just like an animal. You plan to lead him to his doom. What? This is why you are not fit at all to be its guardian. Valenforth is currently invaded by assassins. You'll be handing him right over to the enemy, ready to take him there. What the hell are you on about? I haven't heard anything of it being taken over. It's invaded? But how? Why, I suppose you haven't known yet. There's been a leak of information either by a spy or a traitor. We don't yet know it, but it would seem that word has gotten out of your escape from Havana. As you know already, you are to be brought to the port town of Valenforth and then would travel to your relatives and state where you will be safe. But several days ago, we lost word of our scouts surveying the area. When we sent more in to learn of what happened to them, they were nowhere to be found. Worse yet, we discovered that the entire population had been murdered, and their killers were currently occupying the town. They are still there, waiting for your arrival to ambush you as soon as you are landed. Valenforth is no longer safe for you. Then, what about Marilyn and Esther? If they are still headed there, they may be in trouble. That is to say, if they even survive. Ramos, just saying, they didn't look like spring chicks. Doubt even a quarter of the ship made it to dry land alive. You need not worry about them. We have been searching for your relatives as well. If we do find them, we will warn them of the village and bring them elsewhere to safety. We had another plan in place after we learned of this development, and had meant to inform that Gaijin Kasiro of the change in plans. Yeah, so he's talking about Kasiro. That confirms it. But then the attack on the ship happened, and we lost track of you all. Right now, the safest place for you is my village. No one outside of my clan knows the location, nor if its existence. Kasiro, you think we'll believe some made-up story like that? He ain't going anywhere with you. Wait, hold on, Ramos. You moved around the rhino and took a step towards the stranger. Caden, what are you doing? Stay back. Did you say Kasiro? Yes, you should already be well acquainted with him, I believe. He was your late father's Kingsguard. He is currently at the village right now. Kasiro's alive? It was he who told us about the shipwreck. Then, if I go with you, I'll be able to see him? Caden, what the hell are you going on about? Ramos, I think he's telling the truth. Many years ago, you eavesdropped on a conversation between Kasiro and your father. Your father, it seemed, wished for Kasiro to guide him to his hometown, some village that he had been to before. No matter how many times your father asked, Kasiro's answer was no, that he unable to take anyone there without permission from someone he called the elder. Your father became furious to the point that you were sure he was going to hit Kasiro. Eventually, he gave up when the servant entered the room to inform him of another matter. He stormed out of the room and taking his frustration out on you when dinner time came around. If this place was the same as the one that your father was trying to get to, then maybe there was some validity to the stranger's words. Is this village where Kasiro grew up? Yes, the Gaijin was raised there. Your father should also have visited at least once in his youth as well. If you have any other questions, I will answer them. I want to dispel any doubt you have about me being an enemy and know that you will be taken to some place safe. Enough of this. Don't let this bussy tail wolf fool you. Probably another one of those assassins planning to kill you once you get far enough away from the town. Ramos, I really don't think he's going to harm me, or at least I don't think he's lying. Anyway, if he comes from the same town as Kasiro, then he must be an ally at least. So by that logic, you're saying everyone from Havana is an ally then? You and I don't know anything about this village that he comes from. Who's to say he ain't the spy, huh? Well, see what I mean? The whole thing is suspicious from the get-go. Might as well tie him up right now. We should at least hear him out. so after he's been strung up. He doesn't look like the kind of person who we can capture easily, though. I think you're underestimating my abilities. Well, anyway, we don't know what he's capable of, but he has yet to attack. I think that's reason enough to at least listen before we cast our judgment. You really have forgotten everything I told you on the ship, haven't you? If you're not careful, people like him will take advantage of you, and this one is about as unsavory as they come. Probably just waiting for us to put down our guard and strike at any moment. I do not plan to harm the king. You, on the other hand, are not far from my blade, so you keep me from my mission. Please, I think I've seen enough violence today, if that is what the king wishes. The wolf-masked stranger slid one of his blades away from view. He didn't even realize that he had it on. They had it out. All right, I'll listen, but you take even a foot forward and I'll bust your face up so bad that not even your mother will recognize you. Noted. You mentioned that you were going to take me to your village, but where exactly is this place? Our village is in an undisclosed location, so you can't even tell me where you will be taking me? All that I can tell you is that it is a peaceful place where you will no longer have to worry about anyone coming for your life. You know that you're not doing yourself any favors here keeping all secretive about this village of yours, if it even exists. I'm sorry, but that is just how we have managed to keep our village safe for so long. So how is it that you expect to take him there then? You plan to blindfold him? Yes. It may seem like an extreme measure, but even your father was blindfolded when he visited our village. And you see what Willie is there? Before I had left, he was out looking for you. He may or may not be in the village by the time we arrive. But the elder would wish to see you right away. I don't suppose you could tell me if it's too far away from here. Or were you thinking about going with him? Well, it couldn't hurt to stop by. To stop by right into the enemy's lair? Yeah, great idea. At least you would be there. And that makes it okay. Only you will be welcome. Your friend here would have to either wait or be on his way. Then you can just forget it. I'm not sending him off with you alone. We have our own agreement of sorts. You're not the only one who can protect him. From what I'm told, you're nothing more than a mercenary, only doing this for the money. Your history with him is short and fleeting. At least I'm someone he can trust, unlike you suddenly showing up to whisk him off to some la-la land blindfolded. We don't need you. Ain't that right, Caden? The two of them looked at you, awaiting an answer. Okay, Ramos is rude, so we're just gonna go with Ramos. Your lordship, I must ask you to please think about this. If you were to stay with him, then your life will suddenly remain in danger. Then your life will surely remain in danger. He only cares for you simply because he sees you as an object of wealth, a way to fill his pockets. I understand, but despite his obvious intentions, he has still kept his promise to keep me safe. I'm sure that your village may be the right choice. I likely won't have to worry anymore, but I still don't know enough about this village of yours. Will you feel more comfortable if you were blindfolded only part of the way? What is it with you and that? That's not it. It's just I just feel like this is a correct choice. Is this really what you desire? It's not a matter of desire. It's a matter of trust. To us, you are just a stranger. I should mention that I still don't entirely trust you either, and you shouldn't. Either way, he's made up his mind, so I think you should move along. The elder would be disappointed to learn of this. If you were with your true guardian, I would have no qualms. I still cannot see how you can place your life in a man's hands. What value or qualities could he possess? What value or qualities could he possibly possess to destroy your position? You glance over the rhino and the breeze cooled your flushed face. He didn't have very many desirable traits. He was brass, crude, and overall rude. But for some reason, when you were Near him, you felt safe, as though no one in the world could get to you. I don't really know why. Yeah, you really can't think of one thing. You can trust me when I say that I could write a book of all the things I think about you. But I can say that I just feel safe. Well, if you are set on remaining with him, then I do hope you are. Then I do hope you at least have a plan of what you are going to do from now on. The war is approaching soon. I do not doubt in the next few months a great battle will begin. Do you have some kind of accent other than wandering the country? Oh no, I'll be reporting back to the elder, and he likely won't be swayed by such a lackluster response. If he doesn't have an answer that satisfies your reason for staying other than an impulse telling you that you feel safe, we may come after you again, and I'm afraid no soft words will stop us from our duty. Well then, bring it on. As I said, I made a promise to Leo to keep the kid safe until he's back on that throne. And I got enough punches for every one of your faces who stood up to take him away. We're going to Farhawan. What? We're going to be heading to Farhawan. What? Your pinky and rubbed it in your ear. It was a little too loud for you. Hold on, kid. What are you saying? I can understand his shock, but why are you so surprised? I admire your bravado, but the last place you should be going is Farhawan. I must concur, the wastes are far too dangerous. The encroaching army has come from waste. It is the den of your enemies. You will be at even more risk there. Will that make it the safest place? They would never expect me to go there. They are looking for you everywhere. Where else are we going? Where else are we to go then? Esther and Marilyn are nowhere to be found in the Valdenforth. Is it safe? Then I doubt their house would be as well. It's the first place people think of when they want to vacation, right? A skinny thing like you would get eaten alive. Didn't you say that you would protect me? I can't protect someone who plans on jumping into a fire the first chance he gets. What would make you wish to go to such a hellish place? Well, Ramos told me aboard the ship that he could get reinforcements from Farhawan to help fight this war. Yeah, and if we are going to be traveling together, then why don't we just head there? Besides, don't you think they would be more willing to lend soldiers towards my cause, knowing the king himself journeyed to see them? Farhawans don't exactly look highly among. Farhawans don't exactly look highly among those born here in the Southlands. You being there wouldn't make much of a difference, really. It's true, we have never seen eye to eye with those beasts in the waste. There are barbarians constantly fighting over one another with nothing but desire and greed leading their action. They're no further than your bodyguard here. I know not of this man's plan to get reinforcements, but this should be reason enough to stop you from following along with him. I just want to do something more useful than running and hiding. I'm the king, but yet everyone else has been making the decisions to rule the nation for me. At this point, I'm not even sure if I'm qualified to wear the crown. I'm just a figurehead, not even capable of following in the footsteps of my father. There has to be something that only I can do. That doesn't involve me cowering and waiting for this whole war to blow over. Excuse me for being so presumptuous, but what can you do? You were born to lead a nation, not to jump headlong into battle. I'll figure it out on my own. I will make my own decisions from now on. I will prove that you all can trust in me, and I'll go by myself if I have to. What you are saying is reckless and suicidal. I should be forcing you to go with me. But I suppose that right now I can do no more than advise you against this. I will be telling the elder of your decision that I was unable to get you to come along with me. What he does with this information is anyone's guess, but he likely will still come for you. You letting me go? I still do not agree with your decision, but I will not stop you. I will grant you a single night to prepare before I tell the elder, so you will not have much time. If you truly wish to follow that man, you will need to leave for Farhawan immediately. But the next time we cross paths again, no doubt you won't be able to sway me again. There's a chance that we will attack that man if need be to get to you. There's a chance I'm willing to take. Ramos, you think we can lead? You think we can head out by the mall? We can sure as hell try. But you sure about this? Unless I travel with him. No. Thought so. You take me to Farhawan and get me that army, and I'll assure that you'll have so much gold you'll be choking on it. Yeah. Well, I still think it's a bad idea. Well, I still think it's as bad an idea as they come. I have to admire you, Moxie. Very well, but you better know that this isn't some field trip through the gardens. As the wolf there says, it's dangerous, and it won't be like this road trip we've been on so far. You'll need to be wary of every person you meet, every bite of food you take, and keep your hand ready to draw your weapon at a moment's notice. I'll still be counting on you. You turn towards the wolf again. Thank you for giving us time to prepare. Do not thank me. If I had the authority, I will haul you back if I had to. If by chance the elder agrees with your reasoning, we will be unable to aid you. The waste is not a place we visit often, and we won't be sending our men, and even for your sake. Anyway, authority is still not king. Okay. Yeah, that's basically what. Okay. What do we do? If by chance the elder agrees with your reasoning, we will be unable to aid you. The waste is not a place we visit often, and we won't be sending our men in even for your sake. I don't expect you to. Just make sure that you come back with one piece, so as that you are capable of looking after yourself. If you were to die before returning to the throne, then even we cannot prepare for the storm to follow in your wake. The beastman took one last look towards Ramos. You don't need to worry, your skinny little ass. I don't need to be reminded to keep him safe. If you do make it to the waste, I expect that by the time you return, the enemy forces will be moving once more. I don't doubt that they will be stopping on Havana's gates. Their numbers are massive, more than even we anticipated. Even we are not sure we have the manpower to stop them without bad luck. This mission that you have, I hope it is successful. We will need all the help we can get. May your spirit guide you during these saddled times. The wolf gave a quick bow before he turned away and skidded down the alley, disappearing into the crowd beyond. He slumped down against the wall. Your entire body was already aching, but now it just hurt to stand. The rhino was quick to pick you up before you fell over. Hey, you alright? Ramos placed a hand to your forehead and quickly brought it back. Fuck, you're burnt up again. I'm just a little tired. Your breaths were starting to become ragged now. You had stayed his exhaustion for so long that it finally caught up to you. You weren't fooling anyone anymore, though. Ramos helped you to your feet and kept a firm arm around your side. Damn Wolf, wasting our time. And you, if you weren't feeling well, then you should not. If you weren't feeling well, then you should have said something. If he found out I was sick, there would have been no way he would have let us go. He's easily someone I could have dealt with. Anyway, let's get you to that doctor. We won't make it out of this town by tomorrow, and if you become even more ill. We're here. You stopped in front of a rather plain-looking building with dusty windows on the far side of town, away from the crowd of people all going to see the circus. It looked a bit run down, but the sign out front said it was open. You sure this is the place? Looks a little savvy and sketchy. You want to head back into that crowd again? Just a little concerned since I'm not in the best of health at the moment. Not sure my body could handle getting another infection. You'll be fine. You say that, but you're not the one who's suffering here. Besides, how are we even going to pay for this? We don't have any money. Man, you just like to worry about everything, don't you? Relax, I have it covered. You didn't steal, did you? I said I have it covered, and that's all you need to know. Motes of dust scattered throughout the room as you stepped inside, disturbing your nose and vexing you with a series of harsh sneezes. I'll stop right here. So it's a little longer than I thought, so I'm just gonna stop right here. So we ran into a ninja basically, and he's from this clan that is allied with the kingdom of Caton, and they have been protecting the royal family for generations, and apparently Caton's father never told him about these ninjas, this ninja clan. So Casillo is part of this clan, so it does make sense. You know, the cultural and the names very similar. And this ninja says that Casillo is there right now. So if what the ninja says is true, then at least Casillo survived that shipwreck. No, that ship attack with that monster. Hopefully Leandro's ended up having the same fate, you know, surviving. Hopefully. So, he wants to take Caton to his clan where he'll be safe. Plus, a village elder wants to see him. Ramos said no, so I picked the choice to stay with Ramos. I mean, we don't know if this ninja is telling the truth for sure or not, but I believe him. We don't know for sure. So I guess we decided to stay with Ramos. However, I mean, the ninja decided to honor Caton's decision. You know, he decided not to stop him this time, but if the elder decides to do something about it in the future, then this ninja said that he will get Caton, and he will take him back whether he wants to or not. He'll take him to his clan whether he wants to or not. So hopefully that lady that let Ramos and Caton sleep in her home is still alive. I mean, it's sad her home and basically all her memories were burned down by that crowd, but hopefully she at least is still alive. So this place, Valdenforth, that they were going to, that Ramos and Caden were planning on going to. According to this ninja, it's been taken over by assassins, and that it's too dangerous for Caden to go there. So they're going to Farhawan instead. I thought they were going to Farhawan all along, but I don't know, man, I got it mixed up. I know I always read this VN, so I guess I got it mixed up. But anyway, so they're going to maybe not Farhawan, but I guess they're going to this little valley of sorts instead, so they can meet up with these people, and these rough and tumble people, and gather an army. So that's what's going to happen. But next time we'll see Caden and Ramos go to the doctor to see about helping Caden with this infection. Alright, so thank you all very much for watching. Bye.